Right, good afternoon, people. I'm absolutely thrilled to be down in London. Well, maybe not London, but absolutely thrilled to be down here with a guy who's come over from Brazil to have a chat with us. And that guy is Martin Ditcham, who was drummer with Chris Rea for how many, Martin?
40 years.
40 years.
Well, the first tour was, 84.
84.
So it's probably more.
So we're just going to have a little bit of a chat before about Chris and his music and his tours in general, and we'll just get, and then for the drummers amongst us, which obviously we are, we're going to have like a little bit of an unboxing ceremony for a fabulous kit that we'll show you in a little while. But Martin, thanks for taking the time to meet me.
My pleasure.
Great to meet you. Right, can you remember the first time you played with Chris, and what was your first impressions of him?
Well, it was 84, and it was the Wired to the Moon tour, and I was playing percussion, and we were rehearsing in North London, and very amiable, nice guy. I remember he had a BMW Race Engineers zip up thing. That's all I remember. Ice blue, I think it was. And he was very casual, very relaxed and easy to deal with, and we got through it, and it was great. Good fun. I was
going to say, what was so that was your first impressions of him? I mean, did you find him how old was he then?
Same age. He's 2 weeks younger than me.
Okay, so we're going back 40 years.
You do the maths. I don't know, 84 from 2026.
40 years, and it's plenty. Yeah. We were all young guys, but I mean, one of the things that some of you may not know was Martin played at a reasonable sized gig actually. And he told me last week it was in front of about 1.9 billion people.
Oh, Live Aid.
Which was 1985 with Live Aid.
Yeah.
And Martin was playing percussion with Sade, who he's had a long association with, and played on, I think, most of her hit records.
All of the albums, except for Lovers Rock, but I did all the albums. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And I wrote a song with her.
Which was that one?
Sweetest Taboo.
Sweetest Taboo. Well, that is, a lot of people know that song, and that's probably the reason that he's now a tax exile in Brazil. So
far from it. Far from it. Far from. No, my wife's Brazilian, which is why I'm there.
Yeah.
And COVID took me there.
Well, it's a nice place to be. I've been a few times, and it's. We've had a great summer this year, but the temperatures in Brazil make it much more bearable for everybody. But what was Chris actually like to work with in the studio? I mean, was he specific about what he wanted from a drummer, or?
He was pretty relaxed about, you gave you free rein. Sometimes he did like he loved his crash cymbals. So I'm quite reserved as a drummer, but he said, "Oh, crash here, crash there, crash there." So there were a lot more crashes than I would have done.
Oh, okay.
But he loved that. Yeah, he loved a bit of excitement. Yeah. I'm not Mr. Phil either.
No. I know what you mean.
It's all about groove, which is enough to be getting on with without having to start filling and crashing. Yeah. But anyway, he loved his crashes, and he was good fun to be with. He's good fun.
Yeah.
Definitely good fun.
Oh, he was. Yeah, I met him a couple of times, and through the motor racing I was involved with, and Chris was a big friend of Eddie Jordan, and he was always around the Jordan garages and the pits and everything, and he just absolutely loved the vibe of being around the team, and we loved having him around because it was sort of, for myself working in the pit lane environment and that. To have these music icons, really. Yeah. I mean, people like Chris, people like George Harrison, people like Mark Knopfler. I mean, these people were just wandering through our garage on a daily basis, and
Knopfler liked his Porsches, didn't he? I think he was a Porsche.
Yes, he did. Yeah. But Eddie, Eddie Jordan was obviously a very enthusiastic drummer.
Very. And quite useful.
Yeah, no, he was.
He was tempo. Good
He
tempo.
was good. I mean, I sort of started all the rock and roll nonsense, and Eddie used to get up, and his party piece was always "Get Back" by the Beatles.
Right,
so we'd get him up on the drums from that. But then
on these drums.
Yes, it was this kit and also another Sona kit that you had.
Sona
Light, which were... so, unbeknownst to me, I'd actually had an association with this gentleman like 40 odd years ago, and I didn't even realise. But there's a lot of synergy between the Formula One and the motorsport, and the music, and being around somebody like Eddie was it was a big thrill for everybody, and obviously for Chris as well. And Chris actually drove one of Eddie's cars.
I was going to say that, and Chris rang me immediately afterward. I've never heard it. He was like panting like an excited dog. He was speechless, but also saying, "Oh, it was fucking great."
Yeah,
I can't tell you how great it was. I never experienced like anything like that in my life.
Yeah,
it really made his day.
Brilliant.
It made his life.
Well, yeah. Back to the music. I mean, Chris had such an instantly recognisable sound. I mean, from behind the drum kit, what do you think made Chris sound
voice.
like? It was the voice, wasn't it? Yeah,
there's no voice like it. Yes, Springsteen is Springsteen, but Chris has got a depth and passion that I don't know in anybody. Tony Joe White is similar, they say, but no, Chris has got and when he sings it, the passion comes out. Yeah, you can see it in his muscles when he's really singing with feeling. Yeah, astonishing singer and a great slide player.
Oh, fabulous guitarist. I mean, of
course, and songwriter.
Thousands of songs.
That voice was just so inspirational. Unbelievable.
I mean, for those that sort of don't know about the association we've got here, I mean, we've got I'm running a Chris Rea tribute band called Reloaded, and that's how I sort of got in touch with Martin about that. But Chris Rea is a very, very difficult guy to emulate, and
Neil's done a very good job.
Yeah, well,
brilliant job. Astonishing job.
It's lovely to hear it. I mean, from somebody that didn't know a Chris Rea song 12 months ago.
That's unbelievable.
And for him,
he didn't play slide either.
No.
I wouldn't. I think you were joking.
Yeah. Well, it's just one of those things that I heard him in another project, and I said to him, I think you could do some Chris Rea, and he said, well, I don't really know any of his stuff. So I sent him a couple of tracks over, and he sent me, a couple of recordings back, and strangely enough, I then sent those to Martin, because it was almost trying to get, shall we say, confirmation that we were going down the right road with this.
Which you were, yeah.
Which, fortunately, we seem to have done. And Neil's not here with us today. I mean, he's a very, very shy fella.
Chris was shy, so that's one similarity they have.
Yeah.
Very reluctant to be out front. He wanted to be in the shadows all the time.
I think, and that's exactly the same with Neil.
Which is why we had a band one time opening for Chris. It was called I forgot the name now. But we play all these like shadows type Chris Rea songs. Whatever it was.
I know. I will edit this, and I will put the name of that band over the top of this, because you're all going to know it anyway.
They are. Yeah.
Was it the Fabulous Deltones?
No, yes.
It was something like that, wasn't it? Anyway,
we used to play, and people shouting out, "Where's Chris Rea? Where's Chris Rea?" And of course, he was standing there.
Yeah. So basically, we're sat at the back, both of us, doing, Chris, Martin with Chris, me with Neil, our singer. Yeah. We're the noisy fellas, and we're trying to sort of push forward the chaps in front. And I think, obviously, as the years went by, Chris, being, from what I know, quite a reluctant front man. Then developed his own style, his own, his own persona, and Yeah, I mean that was what everybody loved about him. But of course, again, he's not an easy guy to emulate, and that's why most people can't do it. We're just proud that as a band we can try and pay homage to him and pay homage to his fabulous songs, while also realising that a lot of songs we can't do because they were so embedded in Chris's his whole being, really.
Yeah.
Because I mean, songs like Josephine and Julia and things like that, those are about his daughters. We can play them, but we can't play them with the same kind of emotion and the feeling that the songwriter is going to put into them. But
you do all those and do them very convincingly and brilliantly.
Yeah.
Neil's done a fantastic job.
Well, yeah, that's lovely to hear it. And
as have you and the other guys. It's authentic.
Yeah.
You've done your homework.
Well, that's the main thing. That's the main thing, because it's one thing sort of like doing 2 or 3 covers, but trying to do something like a 2-hour show that is, you know, covering as many of the songs that we can. And I mean, it's been so difficult to pick, you know, the right songs. We've got to pick things that a lot of people are familiar with. There's 1 or 2, shall we say, deeper cuts that we've had a go at. But in general, people want to come along, as with any tribute band really, and listen to the stuff that they know. And we're trying to do that. But so, of all the albums and recording sessions you did, is there one track that you believe really captured the essence of Chris Rea?
God, that's a difficult one. Well, he was a very passionate man. I mean, Tell Me There's a Heaven was...
Yeah.
I don't think I even played on that, but he sang that with such passion, you know, because he gave a lot of money to... gave money to save the children. So, children in need?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. Because he used to break his heart, the whole child abuse thing. And Tell Me There's a Heaven, Tell Me That It's True. That was a song that he gave his heart to. I think we played that live at one point, but it shows his true depth of feeling.
Of course, yeah.
But then there are throwaway songs. It's like Let's Dance and all the rest of it. But
that was a brilliant one, and I'm glad you've mentioned that one as well, because when we started learning that song, I think really that was a song that was done back in the 80s. It was probably done on a Lindrum.
Probably.
And it was all electronic, what we would call electronic dance music now.
Yeah.
Now, when I have sent versions of that for the band to learn, they have said, that's too fast.
Yeah.
And I said, let me send you another one. And it was even faster.
Yeah, and
it was...
That's right. Well, you know the story. I think I told you the story because Let's Dance was always the first encore or the second encore.
Yeah.
And Chris would strap on his guitar and turn around at me and say, as fast as you like, do it as fast as you like, we'll get to the bar quicker.
So
the hotel bar.
I know.
The whole thing.
Which is fabulous.
And I used to do it always to the point where it was not playable. You know, Billy Cotton could have done it.
Yeah. Well, I listened to a couple of it, and I've looked at the dates, and I thought, well, actually, and I remember texting Martin. I said, I found the punk version of this, and it's probably about 250 beats to the minute or something.
That would have been the last 2 or 3 dates of the tour.
Yeah, but they didn't miss the bar. Now I can really sort of align myself with that, so that he gets a pass from me on that one. But you played some enormous venues and concerts. I mean, was there one particular gig where you remember sitting and thinking, yeah, this is really special?
No, there was one gig. We did an open air festival. They were all the festivals are big in Germany.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if we were the headliners because we did a lot with Fleetwood Mac and different people over a weekend.
Yeah.
But there was one night we came on about 9, and the rain clouds were gathering. We were played through the set. We got to Road to Hell, and he sang "Stood Still on a Highway," and suddenly. The thunder came, rain came down, and it was as if it was on cue.
Brilliant.
And we were all completely in shock. That's the one moment that I'll never forget.
Yeah.
Stood still on the highway.
Yeah.
Rain, and it was as if God, if there existed.
That's it.
It's put, did the.
It should have been Thunderstruck.
Yeah, exactly. What a great song that is.
I know, and sadly, the drummer from that band, then Chris Slade, has just announced his retirement, hasn't he?
Oh, has he?
Yeah. He's not been so well. So
Chris Slade, what, AC/DC?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, and he played with Manfred Mann and
people
like that.
I wondered who these new guys were. I didn't.
Yeah, well, he's 80.
Is he?
Yeah, Chris. Chris
he was the original drummer. That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, I hope he does retire at 80. I mean, for God's sake, you can't.
No,
Ringo's carrying on over.
Yeah, well, he's Ringo gets. What's those things? The old sedan chair, I think, gets carried onto stage. But no, I mean, Ringo is 84, I think. What a hell of a lot of. He's still got a load of energy. And Paul. And Paul. I mean, I was lucky last year to see, because I'd met George Harrison.
Really?
Yeah, at Silverstone once, but I'd never ever seen any of the other Beatles. But Bruce Springsteen was playing in Liverpool last year. And I thought, well, I've never seen Springsteen. I want to go and see him, but he's in Liverpool.
Right.
And I'd heard that McCartney was possibly going to go and was playing with him. So yeah, Paul McCartney got up at Anfield in Liverpool and played with Bruce last year, which was, it was fabulous to see a real Beatle playing.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, Chris, he worked with some fantastic musicians over the years. But I mean, who impressed you probably more than anything, and what made that lineup work?
Well, it was pretty much the same lineup always. We changed bass players a couple of times.
Yeah.
But Robert's a wonderful guitarist, always was and always will be.
Yeah.
And Max, of course, Middleton.
Max Middleton,
absolute legend and dear friend and beautiful player. Yeah. Neil, who did the final few tours.
Yeah.
Did several years. Excellent player, really excellent player.
Yeah.
No one specific, but they're all nice guys.
I mean, obviously
easy to play with.
Yeah, I mean, Sylvin.
There's no room for getting too clever, because it's you're there to serve the music.
That's right. Yeah.
That's it,
I mean, obviously one of the things that we had with Reloaded was our bass player. Early on in the piece, left us, and I thought, well, there's only one guy for the job if I can manage to get him. And through the wonders of social media and everything, I got hold of Sylvin Mark, who was at your side for about 24 years, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's great, wonderful player.
Fabulous guy, fabulous player. And Sylvin, he's like Martin. I mean, I've got to sort of really emphasise the point that Chris's music is difficult to emulate, and if Martin says we're doing a good job and Sylvin says it's like playing on stage with Chris Rea, then that is one hell of a big buzz for somebody like myself, and obviously for Neil, who's playing the part of Chris. You can't get any better sort of praise and endorsement from the guys that have spent 25 and 40 years playing on stage with Chris Rea. So that's lovely. But yeah, I know you've had people. I mean, another drummer who died last year, Gilson Lavis. Gilson was in the band for a while, wasn't he? And I think
at the beginning, wasn't he?
Was Dave Mattax played as well?
Dave Mattax was there when I was doing. No, he wasn't there when I first did it. It was Jeff Siopardi in '84.
Okay, yeah.
And then Mattix came along. He did the On the Beach album.
Okay.
Was it called On the Beach?
Yeah. You tell me.
No. Well, the track On the Beach was on there.
Oh yeah.
He did that, and there was the other guy from Fairport, John Nicol. Is it Nicol? Jeff Nicol? No,
there's Simon Nicol.
Simon Nicol.
Yeah.
He did it.
He was.
But yeah, so there was Dave's great.
Yeah.
Jeff was great too.
Yeah. And
then he got me in to do it from whenever it was, 87.
Yeah, well, brilliant. But I mean, again, I mean, sort of putting our project together. I'd already been talking to Martin about things, and then it came to the first show that we did, and it was our first gig was really going to be just a shakedown thing, really, just to make sure the songs worked, the PA worked, the lights, and all the little bits and pieces, and we just had the whole of Robert Plant's band, Saving Grace, turn up to watch us. So no pressure there for the very first gig.
Great.
So we'd got Robert, we'd got Tony Kelsey, we got Susie Dean, we got Ollie Jefferson, Matt Worley. They all turned up, and they all gave us, quite a big slap on the back for what we were doing. Excellent. Which again is a fabulous thing. So I know that Martin, who lives in Brazil now, I knew that Robert and Saving Grace were playing in Rio, and I thought I've got to try and get him to a gig. So
you swung it. Thank you.
We managed.
And, we went backstage, which was even more of a bonus. And what a gig! Wow, fantastic band. Fantastic band, and Robert's pushing forward. He's pushing the envelope constantly.
Yeah.
I'd be feet up on the beach, but no, he's still pushing forward with his concept, which is brilliant.
Yeah, well, brilliant. He's never sort of really stood still.
He hasn't,
and obviously a lot of people, they want to hear the old Zeppelin hits and that, but he's doing some of them. But he's doing them in his own way.
Beautifully
because
remodeled.
He's remodeled them to suit. Robert was 78 years old on Thursday. So, and then on Friday he was up singing some old rock and roll standards with a guy called Mike Sanchez, and he got up and played rock and roll as well with two guys from Jules Holland's orchestra.
Oh.
Okay, after spending sort of the best part of 40 years with Chris, what did he mean to you personally?
Well, he was a dear friend, dear friend. He was a friend of my family, and I was a friend of his family, Josie, Julia, Joan. He was very kind and sweet. He bought me one time a motor racing course at Silverstone.
Okay.
A complete motor racing course.
Yeah.
And then he gave me his cars to race. He gave me his Ferrari. It's Ferrari GT.
I'll find it.
It's the boring Bertoni shape.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'll find the picture of that, and I'll put it up on.
And I did a couple of races with that, and one at Donington, and I hung on at the back, which, considering I'd raced before, wasn't a bad thing. And his Caterham as well. I did at Silverstone. I didn't feel comfortable in that at all. Yeah. Again, I didn't get lapped.
Yeah.
But
was that the Caterham that was on Auberge?
Exact.
Yeah.
The blue one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And very fast, souped up to the max. And, and he was just very kind and sweet. He was generous with everybody and generous with me, and it's a sad loss. Yeah.
I mean, I saw him at Silverstone, I would say probably about 2006. And as I said before, I'd met Chris before, and he was quite, I suppose really, he was going through a bit of a burly stage. He was a big enough fella.
He was. Yeah.
And I was walking down the pit lane, and I'd seen this car going around. Anyway, it came back into the garage, and I stood at the front of the garage, and this guy was stood there, and I said, it's nice to see that car out there. I think it was a Lola or something like that, and. He says, he said, it's the first time I've been out. He says, since I've been ill. Yeah. And I looked at him and I said, Chris? And he says, yeah. I says, my God, I never recognised you. And he'd lost so much weight. Yeah. He'd lost so much weight. It was, and I mean, it's well documented that Chris had sort of major health problems. And in many ways, to live as long as he did was a testament probably to, you know, his not only his sort of what shall we say, his constitution, but probably his tough upbringing up in the northeast. You know, sort of
he
like
was Italian
ice cream.
He got bullied. He got beaten up, and he had to fight his way through his early years in Middlesbrough.
Yeah.
Because Dad had a cafe, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, funny enough, at a couple of our gigs, we've had a couple of guys come up to us. They've come to watch the band, and one of them went to school with Chris, and another guy worked on the ice cream business with him. So, you know, there's a fabulous sort of synergy to that as well. But
I worked with Quo and the Quo Stick band, and Francis, when he knew I was with Chris Rea, he said, "Oh, we had Francis Rossi had an ice cream business. Family, the
that's right. Yeah.
Essex.
Yeah.
And Chris gave me a photostat, whatever you call it, copy of a picture of their Rea ices.
Oh, brilliant!
Oh, real ices.
Real ices.
Ice cream band, and he, Francis took it up in his studio.
Yeah. Oh, that's good times. But
yeah.
But anyway. Right, we've had what we got. We've had a sort of a lovely chat for half an hour on this one.
Yeah.
But one of the things, one of the fabulous things for me, being the drummer with Reloaded, was Martin played the same kit for many years on many tours with Chris Rea.
Probably 10 tours.
Yeah.
Worldwide, Japan,
all over the world. And when I got in touch with Martin, I said, "What happened to that kit, that black kit, that black and copper one, that iconic kit that you used with Chris?" And Martin's in Brazil, and we're having a chat, and he said, "Oh, it's in storage in London." He said, "Never to be played again." And I said, "Really?" And he says, "Why? Do you want to use it?" And I was just taken aback, and of course my to be able to play this kit is fabulous, and here it is.
That's the bass drum anyway.
That's the bass drum. Shall we lift it up a little bit?
Yeah.
Right. A fabulous black and copper Sona drum kit. The rest of them are all in the cases there, but I'll tell you what, we've got a gig next week where we're playing in Reading, and I'm going to be playing this kit with Reloaded. So if you want to come along and watch this kit being played, maybe not as well as Martin ever played it.
Oh no, you're great. You play great.
I'll do my best. But when you're putting a tribute band together, it's not always easy to, shall we say, get the right infrastructure around you. But to be able to sit and play this kit and to be chatting here with Martin is an absolute privilege and a pleasure for me. And you know, it's I'm honoured to be able to play this. I will look after it, and you know, and one of the things as well, there's a lady who posts every day on Chris Rea's sites. She puts some of his music up every single day, and her name is Giselle Arnott. And yesterday she posted a video of Chris playing at Hammersmith Odeon, was it?
Exactly right.
Hammersmith Odeon, playing Driving Home for Christmas. At the end of that show, there was an incredible load of fake snow fired up into the air from cannons or whatever, and
bags and bags
of it.
3 minutes worth of non-stop.
Well, Martin was telling me earlier, he said it cost Chris thousands to have the place cleaned up after this incredible snowstorm. Well, one of the things is we've opened up these drums, and I don't know if you can see this. You probably can. This is some of the snow from that very gig. Now, if that's not something to sort of authenticate this drum kit, apart from this fine gentleman sitting with me, we've actually got the snow from Hammersmith Odeon, and there ain't many. I know.
Each one for £5 each.
We will. I've got to sit him down for this afternoon and try and get him to sign it because I actually have form for this. Back in my motor racing days, just very quickly, what we used to do at the end of the season was we'd save all our team gear and our all car parts and everything, and we would sell them over the pit wall in Adelaide at the end of the season. And what that did was paid for us all to go on holiday and everything. And one of our drivers was a lad called Mark Blundell.
Yeah.
And I'd looked after Mark's helmet for the whole season. So I'd got 50 of his visors.
Bloody hell.
And I sat him in the corner of the garage and I got him to sign every single one. And I sold each one of them for $50 each. So that was 2,500 Aussie dollars that went to a fabulous holiday in Brisbane. And, you know, my missus and kids came over. Amazing. So Martin is going to spend the rest of the day signing snow.
No.
on that fabulous little bit. I'd just like to thank Martin from the bottom of my heart, really, for doing this.
My pleasure.
Letting me use the kit and being a pal. It's fabulous.
Pleasure. Great to know you.
Thank you,
Ed.
sir. Thanks, mate.
You, Ed.
Cheers.
Thank you,
Thank
Ed.
you.